Good evening, everyone, and welcome to, another episode of the best women's football chaos that you'll ever see in your lives. Now, we're not going to mention what's going on in that corner. We'll let him do that in a moment. But yes, thank you to everyone who was bearing with us there after Kai's message about our technical difficulties. It was completely my fault. I had no camera, no sound, no nothing, which wouldn't have made for a very good podcast, would it? But we welcome you all and thanks for bearing with us. And Graham, we do appreciate you, mate. 100 brownie points for you for coming to our aid this evening. Do appreciate it. But everyone else in the chat, I can see Emily, I can see Chris, evening, Emily, Emma, lots of M names going on. Nessie, lovely to see you. Nessie, did you by any chance talk to someone dressed up as Michelle Kang at the weekend? Because I think I may have seen a clip, but we'll come back to that later on. However, Villa men doing us proud this evening. Thank you very much. And Paul giving us the chair. Well, Paul, was it the chair? Or was it something slightly?
The chair was a backup plan because I was really going to do the chair, but no, the standing on the other side of the room, I just thought, we can't not mention Southampton, can we, really? I just thought I'd do the podcast Southampton style for the opening bit.
That poor boy. Whoever set him up for that should be the one to get in trouble, not that poor lad. Bless.
They're absolutely... Everyone's getting sacked.
Just everyone across the board. Everyone leave. Done.
The best thing about that, the announcement might come out while we're on air, so we can officially confirm.
Live reporting of the men. Yes, indeed. Because we don't discriminate. We don't discriminate at all. See, Simon got it. Paul giving us flag spy. Yes, indeed.
Marching away.
When the Saints just don't show up, indeed. No.
They're not going to be at Wembley. Anyway.
As they shouldn't. But I do want to start with the evening with a cheers. Cheers to all of us. Just for, it's the end of the season. It's the end of the season, indeed. Do stick with us, though, because next week we're going to be doing kind of our end of season awards, underrated 11, that kind of thing. So through the week, do watch out on socials we'll be getting your opinions as well. Okay, so I will remind you later on. But yes, let us know who your underrated team of the season is and for awards as well. So we'll do the usual kind of goal of the season, goalkeeper moment of the season, that kind of thing. But also, if there's any memorable moments, either because they're hilarious, like Christy Mewis versus the corner flag, we had that given an award one year, or indeed anything else that's really stuck in your memory this year. Graham, don't you worry. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the playoff. Exciting times at this weekend. Drinking Pepsi Max. Hey, Chris, that's a fantastic beverage of choice. Mine is very rarely something alcoholic. So there we go. I'm going to enjoy that. Now then, we're rounding up, of course, the final weekend in the WSL and Serie A. I'll give you some updates there. We're also checking in on what's happening in the SWPL with Hearts as well. Looking ahead to the Champions League final, we've got the playoff, as we just mentioned. But Kai, more excitingly, we had the official confirmation this week that Chelsea are the final team in the World Sevens tournament. How excited!
What happened? Okay, completely blank.
Over the moon.
That out of my mind. Anyway, it's late here, guys.
But yeah, did you think Chelsea would be involved? Because kind of people thought maybe top three just going to give it a miss. But yeah,
I mean, I was a little surprised. I mean, once we got knocked out of the FA Cup, I just assumed Chelsea would go into it. But then in the past, Sonia Bompastor had said, like, it's not a serious tournament, like, whatever. But now she's like, what a big opportunity for us to go and have some fun, whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of money, and Chelsea famously never say no to money. So,
well, that's a very good point.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'm curious because I feel like a big part of the World Sevens last time around was just all these different personalities and people just being a bit silly off the pitch with the entrances and things like that. And I feel like it's a good chance to see like a different side of that Chelsea team if there is one. Because I honestly, God, if Sonia Bompastor is by the touchline shouting at her players, I will tap out. I'm not going to sit and watch this.
But that's the thing, because World Sevens is, I mean, we've seen it, obviously, the Portugal edition, and it's had, editions over in the US as well. And it is a time for players to, yes, enjoy their football, but really show their personality as well, like you said. So, like the silly walk-on choreography that they were all doing.
I think what was interesting was how it sort of organically built up as the tournament went on. Because the first thing was just Tua Hansen just like giving the ref a kiss when she got a yellow card.
Oh, that was fantastic.
And then from there, it sort of just kept building on, if I remember correctly. So I feel like this time around, there's a pressure to perform, So
how can we beat that?
I want full wrestling entrances for every player. Like I want full-on wrestling.
Like proper walkout music.
Absolutely, yeah. I want it to be
smoke machines.
Smoke machines. Having Cuthbert just coming over and knocking back a bottle of Buckfast to trousers or something.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's fun at the very least. I do find it a bit weird that it's all like English teams, but I think that was the plan. But yeah, I mean, all the teams in the WSL, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are. And like you said, it doesn't make it special if they're just WSL teams, because we see that all season. Why is it like this? They could have at least put like the two newly promoted teams in.
Absolutely.
Like get Birmingham City in there, get Crystal Palace back in there. Even include, Charlton, because Charlton are in and amongst it, have a bit more, I don't know, have a bit more something to it rather than
a bit more diversity, because like we've just been watching the same thing over and over again since August. So could have potentially mixed things up a bit. Honestly, I am a little tired of watching Chelsea. I just want a break.
It's time for a break. Yes.
Break. But soon.
Trophies get boring, don't they? That's what it is.
Yeah.
All those preparations.
Like ultimately, like when Chelsea do play, like I want to see the younger players like Lola Brown or Lexi Potter or Chloe Sarri, like younger players getting
hopefully it's the youngsters. Yeah.
And I would highly recommend that Sonia just like not take Lauren James.
Yes, give a break.
Anyway.
Exactly. No, but because these are the types of tournaments, and we made the joke of, this will be fine for Villa because we're only used to having 7 first-team players fit. So quite nice. It's just the football that we usually play in. But yeah, it'd be nice for those youngsters to come through and have that moment in front of those crowds. So hopefully Chelsea do make the most of it as well. Well, we are going to talk about transfer news, Emily, so hold that thought. In fact, I'm going to be really good and I'm going to star it and come back later. Because the next thing we wanted to talk about, you might remember a couple of weeks ago now, me and Paul had that fantastic interview with Cherry Bombs FC, with Patricia and head coach Janine Sparrow as well. Paul, they only went and did it, didn't they?
They won 4-0 in their first game.
4-0. Their inaugural match.
Against Drip FC.
Drip FC, which is just incredible, yeah.
It made me realise how old I am whenever people calling them these Drip FC and it's not a bloody 5-a-side team. Like, or a Baller League team or whatever. It's an actual 11-a-side team.
It is indeed.
Anger of the first ever Portland Cherry Bombs goal, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to introduce yourself into the USLW League ahead of time, that's exactly how you do it, because it was just the power behind it, wasn't it? For anyone who hasn't seen it, Paul, can you give us a little glimpse of?
It's basically, and it's really bad that I can't remember the name of the surname at least, so I've got to go and double check it.
I'll find it. Don't worry.
Or you find it. But either way, it was filmed from behind the goal, so they had the filmings of that, and it was just one of those the ball's 25, 26 yards out-ish, just get squared, and the next thing, the ball's flying towards the camera at a rate of knots and into the bottom corner of the net, and you're like, yeah, that looked good.
It was Caroline Ruoff. Caroline Ruoff.
Beautifully struck.
First goal. It was absolutely beautiful, and all the pictures of them cheering and celebrating after it was just beautiful as well. Then Audrey Dizon got the second. Oh, sorry, there's someone.
It was a good crowd as well.
Really good crowd, yeah. And everyone had like signs, and some of them had flares, and honestly, it was incredible.
Because the way Janine and Patricia were saying it, it's like, yeah, it's in a park and it's temporary stands, and I've got this idea, you know, kind of lower league English football where there's a gate and everyone kind of walks through and just stands there. They have proper stands, proper chanting, proper everything, and it's like, yeah, they've really gone for this, and it's even better than we could have anticipated.
And for those who may not have seen, they revealed their official mascot, which is Mary T. Cherry, who I know I've got a blur on, but you can see that little bit. So the Cherry Bombs logo as the head, but like leather jacket, tartan skirt with a leather belt, red fishnets, and you're just like, yeah, that's exactly how this mascot should be. So yeah, just the coolest club in the world. That's so if we do have any listeners, watchers near Portland, please do go to Lents Park. Please do go and show your support. Because on the 21st, so tomorrow, they've got their first proper league game in the USLWA League against West Seattle Roadies. So that's at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it'll probably be very early in the morning for us on Friday. However, do keep up to date with that if you can, because what a team and what a community that's come out to support. Because again, they had tattoo artists there set up in a tent. You could get the Cherry Bombs logo tattooed if you wanted to, if that's your thing. They've got their own beer. They've got loads of food trucks from local businesses, and you just thought, yeah. That's how to do it right. About 3 a.m.
I might have done that. I might have had a little cherry bomb, maybe not the actual Cherry Bombs bit, but certainly the Mary Cherry face from the logo, because it's just a very cool logo indeed.
Oh, it's so cool. Totally would have got it. Yes, absolutely. But that's their home vibe that they're going for, and what a cool atmosphere it was. Chris has just had a look at the pictures as well. Just seeing the tattoo artist pictures, so much fun. Yes, proper environment. High praise from Emily there. Mascot has instantly become my favorite mascot after the Mighty Red. There we go. And in true Eurovision style, if you watched it at the weekend, the first goal was a bangaranga. There we go. Nice. It absolutely was. Bangaranga, of course. The name of the song that won Eurovision, if you didn't know, if you didn't watch it. Now then, on to some transfer news. Not much this week. We did get to see Kate McCabe having her big send-off in front of the fans, but we'll talk about that a bit more because our Chloe Bear was there in the press box and just sent us a little report over that we're going to go through when we get there. Excuse me, talking too much. Felicia Schroeder, who we mentioned as possibly a young striker that WSL teams should be on the lookout for. Apparently that is now Chelsea. Chelsea is the team associated, if rumours are to be believed. So watch out for that one. Georgia Stanway to Arsenal is apparently a done deal in the press as well. Again, until everything is confirmed, we shall say nothing, but that's what the rumour is. I couldn't remember where Katrina Gorry's departure came in, but I couldn't remember if we said it last week, so just say it again.
It was this week because they had the emotional farewell videos of Katrina Gorry sitting on a chair, being the most emotional person to have left West Ham in a long, long time.
And it's such a shame because West Ham, and we are going to talk about them in a bit, but there is so much potential there. And again, I really think West Ham in the World Sevens. Are they doing the World Sevens?
I don't think they have done the World Sevens.
No. I think that would have been the perfect tournament to get to know them, because I feel like at the minute there's still a lot that we don't see from West Ham. So personality-wise, I think that would have been a
personality, for example, yeah, because they're all very. You've got Rico Weki and you've got Viviana Say, and that's kind of it. Like if you ask people to name other West Ham players who aren't,
there is West Ham in the World Seven.
Rico Weki and Viviana Say, then West Ham are in the.
They're
so anonymous. We didn't know they were there.
We forgot. But you think people like Fionn Morgan is going to be incredible in that competition, her personality coming through. So yeah, I really hope they get the opportunity to show that. Evening, see, Jackie's keeping us right. Thanks, Jackie. Evening to no, I've already said hi to Chris. Evening to Zach. And yeah, Simon, don't be knocking Eurovision on this show. I'm still singing the Wiggles version. Sparkle is great, by the way. If no one's watched the Wiggles Eurovision song, please do. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, in transfer news from WSL.
I do know a bunch of people who got very, very excited. Maybe nearly knocked my microphone over. Going well.
Excited.
There we go. Maybe this says something about the people I know, but a bunch of friends I know got very, very excited about the Romanian song in Eurovision.
Yes.
Which was definitely about feeling trapped and constricted and baked down by the weight of the world, and definitely not an excuse to get some kind of 50 Shades of Grey style stuff into Eurovision. Like
no.
But seeing I didn't manage to watch it because we basically didn't watch it because of various reasons. But seeing the pictures and going, yeah, if I'd seen at least the Romanian singer Alexandra, I might have been interested, although possibly not the subject matter of the song. That might have been a bit.
There's always a few where you look and go, this was voted through. It got through the semi-finals. How has it ended up in the final? But everyone had fun, and that was the main thing.
Like the UK one, which only wouldn't have got through, I would imagine, if it actually had to go through semi-finals.
No. Well, we got 1 point, didn't we? Out the whole competition. I do believe that we will get back to football in a minute, guys. But I do truly believe if they took it back to where the audience could vote for the Eurovision entry, like many other countries still do, that we'd actually feel more involved in it. Because at the minute, we get told maybe a few weeks before who our act is, what the song is, and there's nothing. Apart from the year we had Sam Ryder, and then it was everywhere, and it was being promoted everywhere. So it was just really...
Sam Ryder could actually sing, and it actually felt like a song.
Well, yeah.
Probably should have won it. It was the year that Great Britain probably should have won it, but didn't, because the Ukraine got the sympathy vote when they should have won the year before with Shum, which for me is the best banger Eurovision song of the past 5 years. And the lead singer of Goa is amazing, and I will hear nothing said against them. So,
and that's the end of that.
So there you go. That's revealing, everybody. People will be no surprise to find out that one of the people I fancy most in Eurovision is an incredibly tall, dark-haired, scary Ukrainian woman who looked like a forest goddess.
And I think no one is surprised at all, Paul. No one indeed. However, we're going to go back to Emily's comment about transfer rumours, because Kai, you're probably best to answer this one. Aggie Babe Jones has been linked with Man United. Do you think Chelsea will be silly enough to let her go? What do you make of this one? Yeah, I saw a couple of tweets in that realm. Do you think she will go? Because I know hasn't been the best.
I think it's a tough one. Listen, she's from the academy, and it'll really hurt to see her go if it does happen, especially to like Manchester United. But say if Mayra Ramirez stays, and we've heard rumors about Turland potentially she's not able to get a deal that she wants from United.
Yeah.
If Mayra Ramirez stays, say we get Schroeder, say we get Bunny Shaw, then where does it put Aggie? Like, even say, for example, if we get like a starting striker like Bunny Shaw, and there's Mayra Ramirez as well, Aggie will essentially drop down as a third choice. So I understand to some extent from her perspective wanting to get regular game time. But at the same time, I feel like this season has not warranted um, that sort of a drastic move from her, if that makes sense. Like, I know she had a lot of injuries. She had a good start to the season and then just got like she fell off a bit and then she got injured. So before that, she was starting for Chelsea. I mean, obviously, Bompasso did not have much of a choice either because there was no Samker, there was no Myra at the beginning of the season. So by default, Aggie was the starting striker. But I don't know. I think it's a weird rumor. I personally don't see it going through, but yeah, we'll see.
We shall see indeed. Because that's
one more
the thing.
thing.
Oh yeah, go on.
I also think I feel like Aggie is in a very weird sort of a position where, like, Bompassor likes a very specific profile of striker, which is Sam Kerr, Myra Ramirez, Bunny Shaw, people who can hold up the ball. They're back to goal players, really good. They can create chances, if not score them themselves. And I feel like that's like part of Aggie's game that she needs to develop quite a bit, because I think she's still, I don't know, yeah, her back to goal play is still not up to par. Although in the beginning of the season, we did see that improve a little bit. So um, it's a weird one. It really is a weird one for me. Like, I wouldn't, if Aggie were to leave, I wouldn't fault her for doing so, but I also think it's very premature. Maybe in January, like, because it's a World Cup year, you need game time. You need to force a move, sure. But right now, to me, it feels a bit premature. And yeah, I think, especially as somebody from the academy, it just makes you feel even worse, right?
Yeah, because you don't want to let your own products go, do you? Especially when there's still talent there to kind of be nurtured. However, Simon is very certain in his choices. Normally, Brighton no Sam Kerr next season, Sonny's still in charge, means I'm done with Chelsea. We'll be watching the WSL as a neutral from now on.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, because Simon has tagged me and Paul in various things this week saying hashtag Sonia out.
Yeah, maybe it's a wise choice, Simon. That's all I'll say.
It doesn't help, does it, that not only there's the transition from Emma Hayes to Sonia, and then having quite obviously lots of injuries that we've discussed, and then you've got the turnover. And I just think it's been a few seasons where there's just been so much change. It's been hard to get like a new standard or a new.
Yeah, I think
but
the
yeah,
funny
like,
thing is you almost expected this to happen last season, right? But obviously a manager cannot come in and make changes immediately. You don't let go of your star players in the summer. I expected it to happen this last summer. It didn't happen. So yeah, it's going to take a little while. And we'll see. We'll really get to see what Sonia is made of from the perspective of, like, comprehensively as a manager, like tactics as well as talent ID, and what kind of players she wants to sign, and who's going to be the spine of the team. Those are the questions that we will get answers to in the
I'll tell you what in the chat, that Bunny Shaw for Aggie Beaver Jones swap, obviously it can't be a swap because Bunny Shaw's leaving Man City, but Aggie Beaver Jones, if she's going to go to Manchester, would be far better off going to Man City than Man United.
Oh yeah,
because of Emily's point about how Mark Skinner will absolutely waste Aggie Beaver Jones, whereas
agreed
at Man City, because of her profile and the style of play, she could be Man City's new number 9.
Yeah,
and she's going into an excellent situation there.
Yeah,
and it could really have a push for England's number 9 spot as well.
That's a good.
Yeah. I do think there's like quality there in Aggie. Maybe it's going to take. She's 22 now, so she has like a couple of years before she sort of enters her prime, and yeah, I see her. She does have quality in terms of her finishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Aggie as a starting striker for Manchester City, I'm not too sure. I think they should go in for a more experienced player. I can see that at United, because I feel like the ambitions of these two clubs are a bit different. So yeah,
Lyneth Berenstein would be a like for Bunny Shaw, because
That would be.
You know, she's supposedly leaving Wolfsburg, so
she's going to Real Madrid though. I think it's all but confirmed that she's going to Real Madrid. Some very strong rumors.
That's a weird move. If Real Madrid have also Ramirez,
I think. Yeah. Oh, we saying about Ramirez, that Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Real Madrid are going for it, this summer. But hey, they need to catch Barca, don't they? So
of course, I forgot Beth Mead has gone to. Beth Mead hasn't officially gone to Man City yet, has she? She hasn't been officially announced. But
the window doesn't open until the 15th of June, if my sources are correct.
It's generally accepted that she and Viv and that bloody dog are going to all team up again at Man City.
Stop slagging off the dogs, right?
Yeah. Why is the dog catching strays?
Hey,
that took a second. I was like, "There's a joke. There's a joke there." Was that a joke? Yes, but
but yes, there will be no dog slander on this podcast. Thank you very much. Also, there are more transfers. Just looking at my tracker in case anyone else wants it. All15yards.com. Sunderland have signed Jenny Blench, goalkeeper, until 2027. It's her first professional contract after moving up from the academy earlier this season.
That's amazing. That's someone out of a Roald Dahl novel. That's a neighbour out of a Roald Dahl novel. That's a bad headmistress, isn't it?
I love it. No, I really
Miss Trunchbull's understudy. Like.
Well, I can't wait to see what she does with her proper contract. And also Chloe Arthur from Crystal Palace has gone as well. Now free agent. We've also
she will, I think.
Yes.
In the SWPL.
I think so. We've also got, just having a look. Like I said before, Ipswich have let lots go. So Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. Lots of loans ended, lots gone.
When did Alicia Lehman get linked with Chelsea and why? Like,
was that not the banter account, the WSL banter account?
Oh.
You know, I can see with. Sorry, Rico, I'm going to throw shade at the owners who aren't Clear Lake. I can see with someone like Alexis Ohanian in charge, they're definitely going to go, let's sign Alicia Lehman because that will give us lots of cut through, you know, that kind of thing on the social media space.
Yeah,
it's not needed. It's not needed. You'd hope that they've got the sense to go for quality over followers, wouldn't you? But never mind. Now, speaking of possibly Aggie Beaver-Jones going to a different shade of blue, the next step is going to be that I'm going to talk about the Manchester City kits that have been released today. Well done to anyone who got the steps joke, by the way.
Are they a deeper shade of blue?
Hey, well done.
Nice.
In fact, they're neon blue. Some might say.
I mean, the responses to that kit as well. People not understanding stuff is a bit of a tragedy.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. So, so the ombre kits, if you haven't seen them, it's very much the kind of the sky blue kind of goes through a sky blue palette down into white and then into white shorts and socks. The women's team, however, so it's a lovely idea. I do like it as a standalone ombre. That looks really, really nice with a monochrome badge as well. The women's have a really nice, like dark blue, inky short. Like it looks really nice. However, the issue is when they stand side by side, it clearly, I love that they have got the darker shorts. I just want to put that out there. However, it's clear that it has been designed as an ombre effect with the white shorts, and they've kind of gone, that won't work for the women. So, yeah, like we'll just put some shorts with it and make it work. Some people are saying it doesn't matter. It's a kit. They've got the dark shorts that the women need. What's the problem? Yeah. Other people have then said, but that's not the point. They've designed it with the men in mind, and then went, oh, kind of work. So yeah, Kai, I'll come to you first. Yeah, any thoughts? Does it matter? Is it an issue? Or, you know, because obviously there's lots of voices around this, but yeah, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I honestly did not think about it from that perspective, to be honest. I mean, probably like slightly controversial opinion, which is that I do like the white shorts better, and I'm guessing the reason I like the white shorts better is because they've designed it with that look in mind. So
as a picture, beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit disappointing for sure. Yeah, when you think about it from the perspective of who it was designed for, and it feels like an afterthought. Because I personally don't like the dark blue shorts. It just we I don't know if you have like school uniforms in England. Like we have school uniforms in India. Yeah, you do. Yeah, and that just reminds me of my old school uniform, the color, and I found that a bit off-putting. Yeah. So no, but no, it like we had a conversation about this on the channel. I mean that was pertaining to Leicester women, but generally just that like the women's team is an afterthought for like all clubs. Like no matter the strides we're making with all the clubs that are doing really well. For example, Villa moving to Villa Park or Arsenal playing in the Emirates or whatever, and the amount of money that they're putting it in. Ultimately, if they didn't, I personally think if they didn't have to do it, they won't do it. Now, today, it becomes a question of optics. To a little lesser extent, it becomes a question of investment and like, you know, reaping rewards in the future. But ultimately, yeah, I just think it is an afterthought, and this is just another example of that. But hey, at least they didn't have a full controversy where, you know, they wore the white shorts and then, you know, there was a bigger uproar about it.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like we are celebrating the fact that they've given the dark shorts immediately and they have thought about it from that perspective. But it's the design idea that only works with white shorts.
Yeah, you know what? I almost think, I'm sorry, just one last thing. I almost think the shade of shorts that they have this season, which is slightly like grayish blue. I don't know, not very good with colors, but it looks a bit faded. I just think I almost think like that color would look better than this blue that they've chosen.
Maybe because it's a very stark contrast, isn't it, between the blues?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They not continue that? I don't know. It could have been done better. A different shade, yes. But yeah, Paul, do you have any thoughts before I tell you the official description on the Puma website?
I have to be very careful because obviously the reason that they have dark blue shorts is something that I can't comment on as a man, and I fully understand why they have dark blue shorts. And I am aware, as a man, any opinion I have on it could sound badly, but in this case, I'm genuinely looking at it, looking at the people complaining, going, how is there supposed to be a solution then? Because either they design the kit, they either design two separate kits, or they try and design a kit that goes with dark shorts, which isn't Man City's look in the first place. Because, you know, they're going for the whole traditional thing, and Man City's look is sky blue shirts, white shorts. That's what they played in for generations. That's the palette that teams are working with. And thankfully, obviously, we've had the recent awareness of, that could cause issues and women need darker shorts. So then you either design completely separate kits for men and for the men and women, which then leads to the not so one club identity. And there will no doubt be complaints then about why are we singling out the women? Why? Because they have to whatever. Or you just say, listen, this is a problem and this is the only way we can deal with it. And if you want the one club identity, they wear the same shirts. And if that causes issue with the shorts, then either they design separate shorts, but with the way the shirts are designed, they can't really design anything that fits with dark shorts, because obviously it goes down to white at the bottom of the shirt. So
yeah, because Emma's saying there, is it possible to do it kind of like white to blue and then go that way? But I suppose the whole, like Paul's saying, the whole optics of it is that it is the sky blue. It's like the main focal point, and then it.
They're not the real sky blues, but they call themselves the sky blues. So, like, you know,
they're stolen.
And I think, like you say, I think there is a tendency among a vocal section of women's football Twitter, and specifically English women's football Twitter, to look for stuff. There's still the chip on the shoulder. There's still the, if we can see something that we think is disadvantaging the women compared to the men, we will hammer it as that, and we can't possibly think of it in any ways of nuance or as any ways of, well, actually, how is this going to work? This is the best solution for a bad situation, basically.
Yeah. It's hard, yeah, because where does that happy medium lie, essentially?
And you know, if you're going to play in sky blue and white, you're asking for trouble with stuff like that. You know, whereas Liverpool's kit is red, and you know, a dark rich red, so they will never have issues with that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is just a color palette that doesn't, like you said, lend itself to those darker elements, does it? Now, to end on a positive note, would you like to hear the description on now? I will say this is on the Manchester City site. I went on the Puma website, and it's just like blue.
Yeah, Puma aren't as good. Puma don't put the
like, here's the color. This is the material. Done.
Puma are just about, you know, if you imagine Nike and Adidas are like, Adidas is some cool bloody Shoreditch ad person. Nike is someone giving it stacks with the full-on performance, and Puma is just some bloke from Yorkshire going, "It's bloody blue."
Take it or leave it. Yeah.
Up. We're from Lancashire. It's bloody blue.
That's it. That's the vibe you get. So yes, this is from the City website. It says, running through a full gradient of sky blue and finished with a metallic monochrome crest print, this kit stands apart. They say we've seen it all. We say you haven't seen anything yet. It's not your typical home kit. It's a symbol of ambition and progress. With premium details like the Puma metallic logo, City backneck print, and not your typical City printed on the inner back neck. This jersey represents the next level of City pride. And this particular one arrives in a gift box, beautifully wrapped with tissue paper. So yeah.
AI written, don't they?
A little bit.
Because they do this whole, it's not just X, it's Y, which is literally an AI flag. Go on, Villa.
So yes, it was just the detail of, we say you haven't seen anything yet. They've seen it all. Yeah, just not as good as some of the other ones we've had, but I thought it was worth a mention.
Good luck with Enzo.
Also, with a kit, I think the goalkeeper kits look excellent, by the way.
Oh, the goalkeeper kit. I did have a picture of that actually when I had slides, when I had my own computer. For those of you who missed the beginning, I've had to change laptops because mine was just not functioning. I did, but I can screen share because I do have my Canva login on here.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it,
the Manchester
I thought it looked kit. Yeah, I thought it looked much better when Yamashita was wearing it. I'm looking at Donnarumma wearing it, and I'm like, oh, maybe not.
I haven't seen it yet, so go
on. Wait.
Bear in mind, the Sky Blues have had some awesome goalkeeper kits the past few years, so there's a fairly high bar. My team had a stained glass window as a goalkeeper kit one year, so it's a bit, you know, the impression button is high. Oh, gee! Holy shit!
Yeah, no.
It's like really.
That looks like it could kill a seagull. Like that. Looks...
You know what it looks like? It looks like the Nike ball for the season, the WSL ball. It looks like that.
It looks like a load of balls, is what it looks like. Just...
Looks like the inside of a TARDIS, but gone wrong. It like all the different panels.
Oh,
It's like a fiery
like
furnace.
the last thing a pollen grain sees before a bee picks it up.
I don't know why I thought this looked nice. I'm sorry, guys, but at least it's a conversation.
I was going to say, Kai, you were like, "Yep, I really like it."
Yeah, I was fully on board when I saw Yamashita wearing it, and now I know I've hopped off the train very quickly.
It looks like you'd wrap. It looks like if you threw a can of carling at it, it'd stick. Honestly, you throw it away, and seagulls getting caught in it, and just.
I just love all the comments. Is that the one that looks like a basketball? What the? Holy Spider-Man. Oh, then Emily said it's horrible as well. It's just all the money they've got. And that's that's the design.
It looks like it was a normal orange kit. And they accidentally walked in front of a really shitty blinds pattern, and someone went, "Yes, that's it." Looks like someone's standing in front of a really wanky Grand Designs blind on a sunny day.
Oh God, there's 3 versions. Oh no, there's so there's the orange one, there's a green one, and a purple one. Oh dear Lord. Okay.
The purple's better. I think purple's just texture. It doesn't look like the same.
Might be better because you can't see the lines.
The purple's the best of the 3. I do have to say the goalkeeper shorts that are attached to this, they start at the black and then go into the orange. So they really took this ombre to the next level.
Is the green a dark green or is it a fluorescent green?
It's a hang on. I'll get it up there. This is a live investigation, folks. It is shop kits. This can all be found on the Manchester City website, of course. If anyone would like a look. Will you have a look at Liverpool's new kit? Well, we turned it into a show and tell. Why not? Yeah. I've also got the Arsenal kit. That's new as well. Right. Can we all see that?
Gee Willikers, radioactive man! That's hideous. That's absolutely vile.
So then the orange shorts do that. So they're the black down into the orange.
They look like someone's cut the feet off a poor fucking duck. Honestly.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Right, should we? I haven't actually looked at the description for this one. Should we look at the description? Right, come on then.
Our shorts were inspired by a mallard's feet.
It's a bold modern look.
Bold is one word for it. I can think of another 4-letter word.
It doesn't have the same ring to it. That's sad. But yeah, I mean that looks like the inside of a greenhouse, doesn't it? It's just very.
Has anyone seen like all the I'm gonna go really niche now with the references, as you'd expect. Does anyone remember like Ren and Stimpy and Cow and Chicken and all the sorts of stuff like that?
God, yeah.
When they tried to do scary stuff and they zoomed out in a room with the shadows and it just all looked really weird and horrifying.
Yes.
That's that kit. It's inspired by a Ren and Stimpy dream sequence.
Like Courage the Cowardly Dog. That was a bit weird as well, wasn't it?
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Cow and Chicken. Sorry. One of the greatest moments of my life was when I saw 2 of them stood by next to each other, and my brain went cow, chicken, chicken, and my mum and dad just looked at me and went, "You're a very weird boy. We didn't give birth to you, did we?"
So what is this? Now Emily wanted us to share the new Liverpool kit. I don't have anything bad to say about that, to be honest. I think that's all right. Yeah, I quite like the little white accents on it. Yeah.
Hold on one sec. I'm sure I've got a T-shirt with that pattern on.
Yeah, you've got a good one.
I've got a 90s t-shirt with that pattern on.
See, it's all coming back, Paul. That's what it is.
No, but it is.
You know what? I'm looking at this Manchester City goalkeeper. I'm not able to get over it.
It's still on it.
I'm also really, yeah. I'm looking at it, and I'm really bothered by how the Puma logo is sticking out of one of the hexagons, and the Manchester City badge doesn't cover one of the hexagons fully, so you can see the edges of it sticking out of the badge, and that's bothering me.
Yeah, they really haven't thought about that, have they?
Anyway, that's it. I'm out. I don't think I have commented on fashion this much in a while.
Chris, you're absolutely right. They were the opening words. Yeah. Mum had a chicken, Daddy had a cow. Cow and I'm gonna have to
I love we just activate childhood memories in people. Yeah. Mama had a chicken, Daddy had a cow.
That's all I can remember. But yes, that is the one, Chris. That's the one.
It's a nice shirt. It's not too bad. Yeah. It does annoy me when they do the reinterpreting a classic, and it's like you've just put some streaks of bird shit on a red kit.
Now, my only criticism of the goalkeeper kit, it's a beautiful colour, but hasn't this just been the away kit or the third kit this season? That colour.
That's the third kit.
Yeah, that's the third kit.
They've got a job lot of them sat at the back of the club shop, so they've just gone.
Yeah.
If we cut the sleeves off and call it the third kit,
we'll repurpose it. It's recycling, guys. Yeah, it doesn't feel new, but I love the colour. I do really love that colour.
Apparently, Nessa says it's a different green.
Different green? No, it's not. Is it?
Kevin's now
shouting at the description. Inspired by the iconic 80s Adidas graphics, celebrating. No, that's a sad description as well. It's green.
Well, if it's based on the classic candy away kit with the weird Adidas stripes that weren't Adidas stripes.
Oh yeah.
No. I know it's the goalkeeper shirt, but I'm saying it's a very similar colour.
At least they're less boring than the Arsenal kit, because Arsenal have this thing of doing, here's our new kit, and you're like, oh, it's a red shirt with white sleeves. So what are you doing differently?
Speaking of which, we do have the new Arsenal kit.
Do they have a collar now? Does it have a collar? No, it doesn't.
They don't, but United do. United's shirt does.
Right. Yeah.
The United shirt is crap.
It doesn't look like you've done much to it. So this is the Arsenal one, just so everyone's seen it.
Make
I love
life
that.
interesting.
Watch along, by the way. There we go. So, I mean,
that's
pretty much
that's the same as the Arsenal kit for the same 4 years, but the stripes are slightly thicker.
And slightly different. So they've really lent into that dark burgundy, haven't they? And then obviously the collar's a little bit different. It's got that woven pattern. But on the whole, it's standard Arsenal, really.
Yeah. Is it 120 quid worth of difference?
That's the authentic one.
I mean, they've gone from one genocidal sponsor to the next one. So on the there's that.
Hold on. Football lawyers.
Sorry.
Surprise shade from Kai here. We didn't think I was behaving. We didn't think you'd be on.
Thought I had to watch Paul, not you, Kai.
They're going, whoa.
Shots fired.
Leah Williamson comes round and she's going to cook your dinner unless you're in slightly the wrong position in the kitchen, and then she just stands like this. If you go into the kitchen slightly early, Leah Williamson just stands on the doorway like this.
Well, since we talked about the Man United kit, let's have a look, shall we? Just so everyone's seen it. I do like a collar, but I just no. Oh, stop it, you.
I'm just like, okay.
Stop it. You know, you try your best to make a podcast. So this is the. There we go.
Oh, that's just not very interesting.
It's just, I mean,
they could have at least made it a holiday in tribute to the best manager the women's team has ever seen. The Mark's in a tribute kit because he's still going to be there in 2035 at this rate.
It just makes us laugh that the shorts are always so big.
So wait, are the Manchester United women going to be wearing white shorts?
No, they're going to wear black shorts.
No, so
it's black, right? Because they usually have black shorts.
Yeah, they've got the black ones there. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Black shorts. Yeah.
You could jump out of a plane with those shorts, couldn't you?
Like, and have a very safe landing. 38 quid for shorts. 38 pounds. Just daylight robbery.
For those, I'd expect for 38 quid for shorts, I'd expect a bloody massage. Like, honestly.
It's just, yeah. I mean, because I remember when I was a girl back in the day, I used to get like the new season's kit for my birthday, and that was like, you know, the thing every season. It's just like I couldn't imagine doing that now because it's so expensive.
You get the full one as well, wouldn't you? You get shorts and maybe socks because I used to wear them in PE. And
you try and go over it, yeah.
Green and black sky blues away kit, the green and black striped away kit. Oof.
But I'm sure even the one for Torvi, the baby one, I'm sure that was 40 quid. It's just like it's not good, is it? Not good. But yes, anyway, if there's any more kits you want us to have a look at, then do just give us a shout. Because we've got a bit off track, haven't we? We've got a bit off track. Now then,
news because it's you know the women's kits
are brand new coming through for the kits for next season. Now let's have a look. There has been news today from Tom Gary that UEFA are going to take a hard line on multi-club ownership in the Women's Champions League. Teams with the same owner cannot compete, and that's it. Head of Women's Football Kessler says there's going to be no exceptions. So, just a quick one, if you want. Do we think so? Of course, Michelle Kang comes to mind with all of the clubs that she has across the world. Do you think then she's going to stick to kind of her one main European club? And stick to different federations rather than have this happen and have one of her teams not then compete. Nessie
said a lot because we brought this up, and I'm sure Nessie said a lot that basically there will be some sort of administrative transfer where London City will officially be owned by Kiniska instead of Michelle Kang. And so they'll be in the name of the CEO of Kiniska. And so technically they're different owners, even though everybody knows where the money's coming from.
Well, it says in the article, if I'm right, that it still includes majority stake owners. And like, so they're really going for, even if you make no decisions, if you're still a big stakeholder, this also counts.
So it'll be interesting because it basically means Michelle Kang has to decide between Lyon and London City in a couple of years if everything goes according to plan for her.
Yeah. Which one do we think she'll choose? Because I know who my money's on.
I know who my money's on. London City will have a £20 million training ground, but won't be able to afford it.
Yeah, it's just such a. I hope if that then becomes true. Oh, Nessie, tell us
Casual.
More. Casual. Please do.
We're going to be the first to know about Puteas because
it's not an issue.
At one point, Nessie just casually go, "Oh, by the way, Puteas has signed in the chat," and then carry on again. Puteas has signed. The CEO told me. It's like, excuse me.
I was going to say, Nessie, if you do have that information, please come and tell us first. We would love to break that story. But yeah, I mean, just if that does indeed happen and there aren't any loopholes that can jump through, I hope London City aren't just kind of left and kind of everything's pulled out.
Leon's farm team. Graska Euro goes to Leon this summer. Is my confident prediction.
Yeah, I think she's. It's a shame because a name like Gioro, you think she could have really done something with another team, but it's just a shame that London City was the one.
Here in Bromley.
Yeah, can't do much from Bromley. But yeah, so watch this space. They've also, I just saw it before we came live. They're going to up the requirements for coaches in Europe. Did we see this? So now coaches have got to have the pro license, not just the A license, and then assistant coaches have got to have the A license rather than the B. So, which is great, but as a lot of people are pointing out, you need to increase access to these courses because it's like gold dust getting a place. So, apparently, staff have got 2 years from the announcement to try and get it. Which
I hope it will be more open to female coaches as well, because obviously you'll have a lot more male coaches with the A license now already.
I
think
hope so.
I might not get anywhere in wherever I can be assistant coach. If Mark Skinner can manage Man United, I can bloody manage a WSL team. So they'll look at that and go.
Well, because people are also saying, does Skinner have what license does Skinner have? Does he have an A license?
I'm assuming he has a proper full one now, because obviously NWSL is different. But if he's got a fee, I would imagine with the NWSL he'd have a FIFA. Bye, Southampton. Thank you, Chris.
Has dismissed it. Oh, Southampton. Never mind. We did it a year ago. There we go. He completed his pro license course last year.
Is that the highest level? A pro license?
I think so.
Or was there? Because it's all very Gran Turismo. You start with a C license, and then you do some stuff. Then you have a B license, and you get bigger cars and get a bit more. And then you have an A license, and then you do like WSL 2. Oh,
you can get the pro diploma. Pro diploma often referred to as the pro license. Yes, that's the highest.
The highest one. See, Anton says you need to increase requirements for refs, but how?
I mean, it's a general one, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
That's just a general. Although, in all seriousness, keeping it vaguely relevant, if Southampton aren't going up to the Premier League, and will have all manner of disruption this summer, because there's talk of the men's team suing the club in class action because of the fact that a whole bunch of players who went down with them and stayed with them took a reduction, which they'd have stood to earn, 40% more wages if they'd managed to get back into the Premier League. And they've had that chance taken away from them through no fault of their own, is the argument, I suppose. Because they're like, if you'd let us play for it and we'd lost, fair enough. But we haven't been allowed to for something that we had no input on. Also, their manager's gone, because yesterday he basically turned around and went, everybody does it in Europe, so we just kind of got on with it. Like, genuinely.
Didn't we still have the same story with Canada women's team?
People have comparisons with it. Beth Beaton can be his replacement, because her BAM finishes just about now. So.
No, but it's a thing. Just because everyone does it doesn't mean that you have to. So yeah, pretty excuse.
It does with what's going to happen now. It does kind of explain, because Remy Allen left Southampton recently, didn't she? Because she's now involved in the England setup.
Back in the under-23s. Yeah, so she went from there to Crystal Palace, and now she's assistant with the unders. Yeah.
So Southampton could be one to watch.
Yes. keep our fingers crossed there. Yeah, absolutely. Now then, there have been a couple of items in the news that have caused quite a stir and quite a backlash this week. So we're going to come on to them next. And then we might talk about the weekend very, very quickly at some point. So the first one, Kai, we're going to come back to you because your topical tag this week is very, very relevant. Now, this was about fantasy football. And funnily enough, after we had that conversation, I can't now find any reference to that. So I don't know if it's been changed or whatever. However, for those who don't know what we're talking about, this particular article managed to offend most women's football fans with one particular sentence. So Kai, can you tell us a bit more, please? If it has indeed been taken away, because I can't find it.
So basically, obviously, the WSL had like a focus group of sorts to figure out what fantasy. Well, it wasn't a focus group, was it? It was just basically inviting those who play aerial fantasy to give suggestions to the WSL for having their own version of fantasy football in the upcoming season. I'm guessing they had put together a package. I believe it was for Opta. I'm not really sure. Based on the findings, based on the suggestions that fans had made. I don't know if any of you submitted an entry, like if you gave your thoughts on what the expectations are, but a little bit. I think there were a couple of controversial bits, but the first one was in the proposal to Opta, it says the BWSL audience is generally newer to the game than the typical FPL player. Football IQ is lower on average. A lot of the fans are still learning the league and the players and the clubs. We don't want a product that only lands with the hardcore. So, yeah, there's a couple of different things here. One is to say that women's football fans have a lower football IQ. I think that's there are better ways of phrasing it, because I think the subsequent sentences do make a bit of sense. Like, people are familiarizing themselves with the league, and one of the best ways to learn more about the league is to play fantasy football. So they could have put a positive spin on it. Like, for example, like I think I've been playing fantasy football for like 3 seasons now, and you just learn so much about the teams that you don't watch, about the players that you don't watch regularly, right? It's such a big part of playing fantasy football. And instead of putting a positive spin on it, they've essentially gone the other way around, saying they have a lower football IQ, and therefore the product should not be focused on the quote unquote hardcore fans, whatever that means. There's also a little bit saying how that the structural feature of the women's game is one where fans follow players before clubs, and favorite player capture is a core mechanic and not a feature. So I think this one, maybe it's something people sort of tiptoe around a little bit, that women's football fans follow players and not clubs. I think that's pretty evident. I'm not saying all women's football fans do that, but a good chunk of them, especially following, say, the Lionesses or something like that, right? So there is that element, but it is really infantilizing to say that women's football fans have lower football IQ. I think it is honestly extremely misogynistic, in my opinion. It almost like feeds into this idea that women's football is not real football, and to some extent women's football does have a huge like female, so by extension you're saying women have very less football IQ. There are a lot of different ways of looking at it. All they needed to do was, people are learning the league. This is a great way to learn the league. So we should like tailor the product towards something like that. But yeah, I don't think the message is necessarily wrong. I just think it's just worded extremely poorly. And fair enough, they've taken it down now. And to some extent, it also sort of, this is something we've seen with the WSL since that version, the WPLL version was there. Like, we've heard the thing about Taylor Swift fans in Glastonbury and I don't know, Halo Sports, whatever the hell that was. Like, we've seen different versions of this. Like, I understand they're trying something out, they're testing waters a little bit, but I don't know. Like, to me, I feel like they're lucky that they're not alienating a lot of women's football fans. Like, I think most football fans, say club fans who watch women's football, are sort of sticking around for the women's game, because they enjoy watching it, and alienate a lot of people as well. So, and I don't think they're keeping in mind how much, the degree to which that alienation can happen. I feel like they need to pump the brakes. They need to reevaluate. But yeah, we'll see.
It was just a strange one, wasn't it? Because in the sense of there are a lot of new fans, who are starting to get into it, and that might be their first season playing fantasy football. So yeah, all they need to say was, we want this product to appeal to everyone. So we've, included how-to guides and how to get started, or like they could have phrased it so much better, rather than the footballing IQ is on average lower than the average. Like, who made that decision to do that? But yeah, Paul, did you have any thoughts on that one?
I agree with Kai. I think Kai actually changed my opinion slightly, as they tend to, by being more rational and looking at it in a way that often I haven't thought of. Because I think they could easily have addressed the bit about, which I personally don't agree with and think is bloody stupid, but we could rant about that until tomorrow morning. So I'll just, the bit how a lot of women's football fans do follow players, not fans. And so they mention there will be a thing where a lot of players, irrespective of whether their favourite player is injured or rubbish or whatever else, they will pick them because, for me, if I'm doing fantasy football, Shannon O'Brien is going to be in my 11, even if there's ways to get better wingers, because A, I think she's an amazing player, but B, just the sentimental stuff. And, I can accept that. And if you say and turn around and go, women's football fans often have an emotional attachment to players, so there is a core mechanic where people will pick their favourite players, and we should find a way to acknowledge that, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I put Sam Kerr in my lineup after a long time last weekend, because I just knew, I mean, it was her last game. I knew she would score. Part of me knew that she would score against United, but, there are very few things in life that you can control. So,
but the thing that really annoys me, and it's a part of a wider problem, I think there is an issue with the misogynistic undertones of it. But I also think there's a massive, massive issue that alienates people of all genders and types who are fans of both sets of football, or who have come to women's football from growing up watching men's football. Because we're all here and we all watch our men's teams as well as our women's teams. Although again, mine was stolen, but still, And like Emily says in the chat, she's a fan of Liverpool. She's not a fan of Liverpool women. And I think to turn around and go, oh, they're all new fans, they all have no IQ, is horrendously alienating is misogynistic, but it's also, I think, and I know this might sound a bit Richard Bloke complaining, but it's also horrendous. There seems to be much more of a move that almost doesn't really acknowledge that a growing number of men watch women's football and are proud supporters of it, and often do so while facing, all the. What have I done? No, sorry, I went for a second. Yeah, you all started going spinny for a second, so I was like, have I lost everybody? No,
I mean, catch pen. Hang on.
you've got people in the chat. You've got people like Chris. You've got people like Zach. You've got people like Graham. Who are men who proudly watch women's football while watching their men's teams as well, and just to turn around and go, "Oh, they all have a low IQ. They must all be new fans." Is tremendously insulting in that way because of the fact that a lot of us have watched football for years and love watching it.
Because you've got, what a comment by Zach, by the way. I did accept the position of goalkeeper coach with Little Rock Rangers women. We're currently in the WPSL. That's
two teams we've got to keep an eye on. Congratulations.
Yes, we absolutely love that one. Yes.
So it is a situation where you just look at and go, have awareness of who's watching.
Yeah, you just think though, could it be easily rectified? Because like on FIFA, and EA FC, wherever it's called now, you can change like the difficulty levels, can't you? So if you are a beginner, you put it on easy, you get the hints and tips and the more supported version of it. Whereas if you're an experienced player, you go on to difficult, expert, whatever, and then you get less of that. You can still opt in if you wanted to, but you're just expected to, you can really tweak it and make it more of an experience. So I suppose, could it end up being a bit more like Football Manager-esque on like the expert level, where you get to choose more options, whereas the basic one, or the entry level one, if you like, for those new to the game, can be very much, we suggest these players for your first week. Like, so you think, could it, instead of going, oh, well, this is a product and yeah, we don't want to alienate people, but we've got to have so many things in place. Why not make it fully accessible?
Even go as far as who are your favourite players? Who do you want them in? And if your favourite players are Sam Kerr and Viv Miedema, then the formation is a 4-4-2, and it puts those two in a striker.
For you.
Or if you've got four, or if you go pick your 5 favourite players, and it will put them in a formation necessarily, and it will go, right, okay, of your 5 players, you can only have 3 because you've picked 3 strikers. And if you have those in, do you want to pick all of them, or do you want to leave so and so out?
Yeah, and kind of build it to be like, you've picked these, could we, we suggest you putting in 2 more.
Yeah. We suggest this formation if you want to put all of these players in.
Yeah.
And that would mean we suggest this players. Yeah.
I'd love that.
Maybe that's what they'll come with as well, right?
I hope so. I really do.
A little bit of hand-holding, and I think ultimately there is a clear message that they're trying to tap into a very particular kind of fan base, newer fans, etc., etc. I don't know. I just really worry that you're going to see it stray too far away from the football culture.
From what it's meant to be about in the first place.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily need to be a bad thing, but I also feel like there needs to be a balance. So anyway, I mean, I think maybe we'll look back on it like 5-6 years from now, and maybe we'll feel differently. Not sure.
Yeah, I hope so. But yes, hopefully they've learnt from their mistakes of trying to talk about people's IQ before releasing an actual product to actually test it. Right then, let's keep going. Full time for the Villa men. We're 3-0 against Freiburg. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
They'll have to change that banner at Villa Park now, won't they? Because they'll have to add one among the Trinity Roads town for one of the goals from tonight as well.
Yeah. Hey, they'll have to celebrate the moment. Absolutely. Right then, we're going to skip on slightly. because the England squad was announced today, and these are for the final 2 matches against Spain and Ukraine, the end of the group stages. And remember, the winners do get through automatically to the World Cup. So we've got Hampton, Moorhouse, and Roebuck, Bronze, Carter, Charles, Greenwood, Hines, Morgan, Letitia, Williamson, Wubben-Moy, Blake Hildebrand, Kendall, Park, Stanway, Toon, Walsh, Beaver Jones, Godfrey, Hemp, James, Kelly, Mead, and Russo. So even though I did just do that really, really quickly, so Ella Toon's back, and congratulations to her with her MBE as well. She got that this week. Aggie Beaver Jones is back, but of course, no room for people like Erica Meg Parkinson, who came last time round. There's been shouts for Grace Fist to be included. When's she going to get her turn? But the loudest shouts have been for Ruby Mace, because Still doesn't get a look in. Now, Paul, your your quote tweets have been quite interesting over the last couple of days.
I've just not looked at them. I've just, you know that clip of people putting on hazmat. That's me. I mentions the past day or two, just like,
and it gets to a point where it feels like you can't have an opinion, and it's not even. Obviously, some people shouldn't speak on the internet. We know that, but for things like squad selections, when you're just going, oh, when's Ruby Mace going to get a chance? What's going to have to happen? But so many people, and it's so many of these faceless fan accounts that think they've got a right to their opinion and it's got to be better than everyone else's, just because they've been really, really outspoken about anything to do. There's also another issue, but I think we'll have to come back to that another time, maybe a bit later if we get a chance. But another journalist has then come out and said, if people are saying they should be in, then they should also be saying who should be out. Now, the argument with that is we're all talking about be nicer to people, don't invite this commentary and these hate comments and things like that. So it is a fine line that you have to tread. But at the end of the day, you're still allowed an opinion on who you'd like to see get a shot in the England squad. So yeah, Paul, over to you on this one, because people are a bit mad on the internet recently, aren't they?
It's
like blowing it way out of proportion.
It's the player fans. It feels like in men's football discourse is often horrific anyway, because people like my club or die. But women's football fans, it's fans of certain clubs, fans of certain players, and just like, and I think players are more aware of that now. And I think players, like, you have the classic things where people talk about there were things you don't do. You don't annoy BTS fans or Taylor Swift fans on the internet, because they'll annihilate you, because Swifties and the BTS army come after you. And it feels like that's starting to be the case with certain players in women's football, and it's being fed by their mates in the media and certain club journalists. Because my initial comment was, how does Ruby Mace not get in when we're taking 3 left backs, and one of them, Taylor Hines was absolutely ripping it up for Liverpool and didn't get near the squad to the point where she was, I'm going to play for Jamaica. And now suddenly she moves to Arsenal and sits on the bench, and she's suddenly an England international. And yes, that might have been slightly poking the Tim Stillman, poking the bear a bit, but also just the viciousness from people and the instant assumption that I was a Chelsea fan. I'm like, no.
Yeah, for some reason they're like, oh, he's a Chelsea fan, and then others been like, no, we don't want that. And it's like, no one's ever mentioned Chelsea. What are you on about? People can just have an opinion because they watch football.
And then it was the ridiculousness of club media coming in and going, "Oh well, this happened and this happened, and I know everything," except for what a cheese and onion batch is. But we'll move on from that. There's your clue, everybody, for people who are aware of social media as to which one. But it was like, "Oh, this was always going to happen." As if sit down and shut up. I'm telling you what happened, and I'm like, "No," because when that was supposedly happening, England were playing a striker at left back. So where was the supposed succession plan when you've got Tottenham, and there's also a massive logjam in the under-23s for fullbacks anyway. England do not need the amount of fullbacks that Serena Eagman has picked.
No, because in the defenders we've got 9.
If she could, she'd play Lucy Bronze at left back and right back.
Yeah, that's it. You've
got
so as Kit Shepherd, who was the journalist in question, said, if you're gonna say players should be in, you need to say who's out. Drop Taylor Hines, put in Ruby Mace. Drop your forced choice left back, put in a player who can play centre back and defensive midfield, and by the way, has had the most defensive actions in the WSL this season, which Everton very gently reminded everybody.
Because that was the thing. So if people miss it, it was Everton's post, wasn't it? Been like, no one's had more defensive actions or successful defensive actions than Ruby Mace this season. And then that's what got quote tweeted with, well, if you're going to say someone should be in, then say someone should be out. And it's not necessarily that in particular. It's just saying reward the players that, the stats back it up. The stats obviously don't prove everything, we know that, but yeah, if you've got someone who is consistent, but also the comments for people being like, oh well, you need to move to a top 4 team. If you're not in a top 4 team, then you're not worthy, you're not good enough, essentially. And it's like, well, we've got so many international players throughout the league. It shouldn't be a case of you need to be in top 4 or else. Like that shouldn't be the case. We know it is for the majority of the time.
It shouldn't be. But the insanity is when those top 4 players then come out and go, "Oh, I feel like the media are a bit harsh on us," and you have Catherine Batt step up and go, "Here is the documentary evidence that actually most women's football media actively avoids highlighting goalie mistakes." Because we all know it's the men's football banter accounts that do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of accounts that
or Sky Sports WSL that do it because they know they've got the lad accounts that do it. And Catherine pointed this out, and her mentions were even more of a sewer than mine were.
And even to the point where Catherine Batt did have to comment on one and say, right, you've commented on this 6 times now. Like, what are you trying to prove? So the same account 6 times had gone back and said again and again and again, and it's just like, just stop, just leave it. There's no point in doing this.
I'll see someone in the chat's talking my language.
There we go. I was going to say, if you're new to the pod, Shannon O'Brien, we do think that she needs.
You are talking to someone who saw her play for Coventry at 17 and has her shirt and fell in love with her as a player. Has her shirt, her Leicester shirt, even though I'm a Coventry City fan. That's all you need to know about that one.
And again, like what Anton said, the advantage for players in the top 3 teams, if the Champions League, they're going to be up against the best of the best. And yes, no one's saying they wouldn't be. But if you think like Kirsty Hansen's, she then wouldn't be in selection for Scotland because she's at Villa. And you just think that, but that doesn't correlate. If you're a good player, you can play in whatever team. And if you're in a higher environment,
notably don't do that. Other countries notably pick from a wider pool, don't they?
You know what I think?
Yeah,
I think this particular camp, I feel like Wiegman is just it feels like she's trying to play it a bit safe. She's trying to maintain continuity because obviously you'd rather avoid going through another stage of the qualifications. You would probably want to qualify directly, be in that pot 1, I'm guessing. So all those things considered, like I would be even more concerned if we don't see, say, for example, Grace Fisk. I think she's an excellent centre back. She's had a pretty good season, in and out with injury a little bit, but largely she, like, in fact, I think the Liverpool defense always looked better with Fisk in it than without her. So, yeah, I think after this camp, I feel like if we don't see Mays and Fisk and a couple of other players, then it would be like big concerns. And yeah, of course, the Taylor Hines discourse. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. We can criticize Weekman as we have, but ultimately it's her decision. But yeah, I think.
That's the thing.
But at the same time, I will say this, like, Hines. I think somebody mentioned it in the chat as well. England, and as is the rest of the world, pretty short on left back, so you'll take everyone you can get. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if England manage to qualify directly, then those friendlies that'll come up next year, in the next season, maybe would look different.
And then hopefully they get their chance there to show, yeah, we're ready for a World Cup, we're ready to go.
Yeah,
And I agree, because just to quickly remind people, so England are top of Group A3 on 12 points, Spain are on 9, Iceland are on 3, Ukraine are on 0. So the next two games, Spain's, of course, going to be incredibly tricky. We also know what Ukraine can do as well. So even though they don't have any points, they've still put up a really good fight the rest of these match days. So yeah, I suppose she's gone with the players that she knows best, maybe. Hasn't really taken a gamble. But yeah, I mean, there's people saying, Lee Williamson's been out injured, gets a goal. But I mean,
Lucy Bronze is in a boot, so I don't know. She was in a boot on the last day. So.
That's the thing, yeah. Is she in a boot? Is she not? A bit like Kate McCabe when she went off in the boot, but then she played 3 days later and she was fine. So,
yeah.
So yeah,
the trouble is, well, players like Leah Williamson are always going to get picked as soon as they're even half.
Yeah, I think
Ella Toone on pure minutes doesn't have an excuse to come back in and shouldn't, but
no,
she is. Because
again, she's known, isn't she? Part of the team. Right then. So let's move on to. Should we talk about the final games of the league? Now. So this is the final standings then. After the final day. So Manchester City finally got crowned on 55 points. Arsenal in second place on 51 and Chelsea in third place on 49 points. So it does therefore mean that Arsenal are straight through to the league path for Champions League next season, whereas Chelsea will have to go through the qualifiers. United 9 points behind in fourth spot. So Kai, we're going to come to you first, of course, from a Chelsea perspective. So even though it was a win on the final day, I think we should just focus on Sam Kerr and what she brings, because that volley was just beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those moments that sort of encapsulates what Sam Kerr is. Like, there are 2 or 3 things. You see her movement. Laetitia has no idea where she is. Like,
no.
Because obviously the cross is a little bit behind her and she's in between the 2 center backs, and then she sort of gets ahead of Laetitia. And I mean, that volley was absolutely insane. I don't think I've seen her strike the ball that sweetly since she came back from her injury. So, and the second thing is, it was United. She was going to score. Her favorite customer, dunking on them has been her favorite thing to do for the last 6.5 years. So, yeah, I mean, incredible player. And even the way she's gone out, there's been no tears, just happy to celebrate with the fans, etc., etc. And yeah, I think as a Chelsea fan, I feel really honored that this incredible player chose to spend the prime of her career in the club. She became Chelsea's all-time top goal scorer alongside Fran Kirby, which is a really
Not a bad
nice.
name, is it really?
Yeah, not a bad player to be on the same level as. So, and they had that incredible link up in the season where they were tearing it up, 2021 season. Yeah, I mean it's. I mean, a lot of fans feel like this is not the time. It's not yet time to let Sam Kerr go, because obviously you saw
I
the
was gonna
body,
ask
you
you
saw
about
the
that.
movement. Yeah, like consistently she's got better as the
Mm.
season's gone on, as she's got more minutes in her legs. So obviously she has at least 2 to 3 years of football left in her. But at the same time, there are larger changes happening at Chelsea, and I think it is the exact right time to go. I think a moment that was very telling of that was when Bob Pastor subbed her out in the FA Cup semi-finals when Bunny Shaw equalized. Oh my God, I cannot wrap my head around that decision. But it's moments like that you can see that there's a bit of tension between Sonia and Sam, and and she's honestly, it's been really nice because I mean she's a mother now. It's crazy. Like I mean, it's crazy. You can see how I don't know. I felt this very strongly. It's almost like she has like a very different perspective on life now. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, I feel
Maybe
that.
maybe you can relate to that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's almost there in her body language, and of course, like she was being a bit silly, she was being playful, her usual self, in the goodbye and all of that. But yeah, I mean, I think um we've watched her grow as well, and it's been really nice. She is as clutch as it gets. Scored in like 3 FA Cup finals. Two of them are winners. It's
Yeah.
scores in the big moments, shows up in the big moments, and yeah, there's obviously when you think back to Emma Hayes and Sam Kerr and Millie Bright, you obviously feel like, oh no, they don't have a Champions League. They had this domestic dominance, but no Champions League to show for it. But in the goodbye video that Sam put out, she was just like, I'm happy that we won all of these things, and that makes you realize, what, there are bigger things in life than a fucking Champions League trophy. So there you go.
But no, it's true, and because you could in a sense just keep chasing that Champions League, and then everything else wouldn't feel as good. But you need to kind of remind yourself of, actually, we have done a really, really good job here. Then the legacy Sam Kerr's gonna leave behind is just immense. And 116 goals for the club is just insane. And there's a lot of people in the chat saying, "No, where's she gonna go? Probably back to the NWSL." I mean, the NWSL seems likely for her.
There was a rumor at one point that she might be going to Denver's Summit. Not really sure about that.
Ooh. I mean, that would be good.
Imagine she could do, like, if Sam Kerr's all about her legacy at this point, if she went back to the A-League, if she went home for the last few years of her, I say last few years, but whatever, of her career, imagine what she could do for the A-League.
That would be huge.
Just by herself. Imagine what she could do for Australian women's football in her home country.
And it just really, really be there for it in that moment and really, really push it on. Yeah, you can definitely see that.
We saw with the World Cup, that was, the Matildas coming out party, and everyone says the momentum since then. This is if I'm one of the big teams in the A-League, one of the Melbourne teams. I'm like, Sam, here is a check in Aussie dollars.
Yeah.
Bet your own amount. We'll find the money. We'll get sponsors involved. We'll get broadcasting. We'll get whatever. Just come back home.
Yeah. Come and have have that full circle moment, yeah. Because was that Maya Ramirez's first minutes this season, or had she come on before?
Oh right, yeah. No, it
See,
was her first minutes of the season. I mean,
yeah, and that wasn't really talked about, was it? At all. I just had my chance because I was away this weekend, so I didn't get to watch it live. But yeah, it came on and went, I recognise that player. That's Ramirez. Like no one seems to make it a big deal, but that's huge that she came on for.
It is massive. It is massive. I think a lot of fans have already sort of accepted that Ramirez might just move to Real Madrid because there's been rumors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's been. I think Bompastor mentioned at some point that obviously it's been a really hard season for her. She's been rehabbing the entire time. She's had setbacks, so obviously it must have taken a toll on her. And I think Bompastor mentioned that she is very homesick, etc., etc. So, yeah, maybe at least like linguistically, if she's in Spain, that might
a bit
feel closer to home. And of course, Caicedo is also there, who's a Colombian teammate. So.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you where Sam Kerr should go. She Perth Glory.
Perth Glory.
Because back home.
Go back to Perth Glory.
Yeah. Not least because Perth finished 8th in the league last season of 11. So Sam Kerr's next thing is going home and taking her hometown team to their first A-League title, alongside other such WSL and WSL2 luminaries as their captain, former Lewis player Izzy Dalton, and former Bristol City and Southampton player Megan Wynn.
Yes.
Who are the players playing over there?
Yeah, that would just be poetic, wouldn't it, if that all came into play? But yeah, so I mean, Chelsea third.
Messi going to America. in terms of filling the crowds, people turning up the A-League games.
Oh, that's true. It'll do wonders for the crowd. Yeah. So a season for Chelsea that ultimately not the best, but not the worst either. Still got Champions League. Still got time and a big summer ahead really for that.
And a Subway League Cup as well. Don't forget the mighty Subway League Cup.
About the Super Cup. Never forget.
Yeah.
But yes, any final thoughts from you, Kai, before you go about the season?
Yeah, it's been an underwhelming season in a lot of different ways. I think we've seen sides of Chelsea that we haven't in years, which is especially from like a mental perspective. I feel like the resilience that you usually see from the Chelsea team, grinding out results, like not like bottling 2-goal leads. I mean, I have not seen a version of Chelsea that ever did that, so yeah, I think those are probably the things that need a bit of work. Players sort of need to turn up, and yeah, I mean, the summer window is obviously going to be really interesting. I mean, obviously the biggest one probably being the Bunny Shaw question, whether she stays at City. If she doesn't, whether she's going to move to Chelsea. Like, she could obviously go anywhere in the world. So yeah, but a few signings, definitely different parts of the pitch. I mean, obviously we can maybe talk about that as we go into the transfer window, but yeah, that's it. I mean, it's been a terrible season. Just like, I think it's also affected players quite a bit because they're not used to it.
Yes.
Used to this, whatever has happened, like it's like the castle has come crumbling around them in some ways. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad the season is over, barring the World Sevens, of course.
I was going to say, hey, we've got the Sevens coming up. Not over yet.
Yeah.
But yes, want to maybe kind of not forget, because there were still some good elements, but maybe just want to push gently to one side when reminiscing.
Yeah, I think a lot of very clear things that the team and the coaching staff need to work on. I think this, last season in a lot of ways, the unbeaten domestic treble sort of covered up a lot of cracks. And I don't know if I said this on the pod, but I'm kind of glad that Chelsea did not go through to the FA Cup finals, because I feel like winning an FA Cup would have painted a better version of the season than it actually was.
Yeah. Okay.
And like, nobody can hide behind a Subway League Cup, you really need introspection. An FA Cup you can, not the Subway League Cup.
Are you trying to say it doesn't have the same status, Kai? Is that what you
No,
even
I
say
would
that
never.
No. Well, here is to a summer of rebuilding from the foundations up, and fingers crossed the Chelsea that we all know and some of us love will come back in the not too distant future. But yeah, thank you, Kai. We appreciate you as always. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye. And then there were two. Right.
Oh, now I can tell a dad joke if you're singing.
Oh, go on.
How many blues musicians does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
None. They just sit in the dark and complain. Oh Lord, they just sit in the dark and complain. Girl, if you don't change that light bulb, I'm gonna take that midnight train. There you go.
Very good. Very good indeed. If you didn't watch the show last week, that'll be very strange to you. And out of context.
If someone's tuned in just for that, it's like, I thought it was a football podcast. What the hell?
Now with extra added blues. But yes, last week we did a bring your own dad joke. Oh, Graham started now. Farted an elevator once. It was wrong on so many levels. Correct. So yeah, if you have got any different dad jokes that you didn't manage to say last week, get them in the chat. We'd love to hear them. So yes, that was Chelsea. So even a win on the final day of the season, unfortunately, just wasn't enough, and they do finish in third place this season. I do have the other results. Again, just working out a different computer. Hang on.
We'll tick through.
I'm
just bringing up the NWSL results as well too. I'm assuming we're going to very quickly mention them at some point as well.
We can, yes. It feels wrong when Danny's not here, but yes, we absolutely can. So this is how the weekend looked on the final day of the WSL. So let's run through them for any key moments. So yeah, I mean, Brighton Spurs was a strange one because I thought Brighton were going to be fully in charge. I think they certainly were that first half. And then Spurs came out of nowhere with two incredibly good late goals. So yeah, was this a shock that Spurs could pull it back for you, Paul? Or
I think Brighton have half an hour in the FA Cup final.
That'll do it.
I think this was a game to get out of the way.
Yeah,
I think this was, for a lot of teams, this was a weekend to get out of the way. Like,
yeah, I see that.
Because with everything decided, Chelsea obviously did what they do against Manchester United and put another nail in the nail-studded coffin of Mark Skinner at this point, because the bugger's like a vampire. He keeps just pushing the lid off. You nail it down and he gets back up. But yeah, Spurs are weird because they've had a weird year, because when they were good, they were very, very good. But
and when they were bad,
indeed, and Martin Ho has openly said, we need to get more consistent. We need to challenge. Yeah, and I think they will do this summer, because obviously letting Beth England go.
That's a
huge weird decision, but they've stated, we're after younger, hungrier players. And
it's quite insulting, really, but yeah.
I in the sense of their model is, they're after I think they are handing over because Katinka Tamberg is such a good player.
So good, yes, yeah, with you on that one.
She is a player with the way she is, because Spurs fans say this as well, but the way she is on social media and the way she's committed to the club, like she's gone and watched the men's team over their battle against relegation the past few weeks and openly been supportive, and she could really be a face of the women's team over the next few years.
Yes, like you said, the way she's embraced it.
And brilliantly, she just doesn't care. And I mean this in the best possible way. Like she's just enough, because you get the feeling with some, and I think again this is a problem when you have the players who have huge fan bases. They feel like they have to be very corporate and careful and inspirational and
personality.
Whereas Katinka Tamberg is just, I don't care. I'm going to be an absolute shithouse and wind people up and make jokes and be. Having Kirsten Kasparov on the same team would be incredible. Like, if she ever joined Man City, just the pair of them, they'd just not be allowed anywhere near the club's social media, would they? Like, they do these. We gave the camera to insert player here for a training session. They just wouldn't give it to Kirsten Kasparov or Katinka Tamberg because they'd be like us with the lawyers. Just, we've got the lawyers on standby, Tinker. Go on, away you go.
Or it would be, we do apologise, City fans. We did have some content planned. Unfortunately, it's unbroadcastable.
Unfortunately, it was we gave it to Katinka Tamberg and Tinker did Tinker things.
She tinkered with it, and therefore we cannot show
it. I'm developing. I can't say crush, obviously, because of the optics of it. I'm developing a very huge fandom of Katinka Tamberg.
And rightfully so for how wonderful she is. I do like. Oh, even Matt. Matt saying, from a Chelsea perspective, we need a striker, hopefully Bunny Short, a left back, not Katie McCabe, and a number 10.
Just not Katie McCabe.
Anyone but Katie.
Caicedo number 10? I thought Caicedo was more of a kind of a Merchie Dumornay, kind of a wide forward. Which Chelsea have.
I would agree. I thought she was wider, but I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think.
For Madrid, she just goes all over the place, isn't she?
I think she's just one of those players that's just, she can go anywhere.
You just go, nominally on the team sheet, you play here, but if you pop up on the other wing, we'll just work around it.
Yeah. You do you. We'll support you. Just give us
the thing that used to be described as a free roll.
Yes, very much.
And now it's a number 10 just behind the front two, or God knows whatever else, like 47.
Yeah, thanks, Anton. Wide or up top sometimes for Madrid as well. So
up top,
I mean, anyone's signing Caicedo would be an incredible move for them. So yeah, if Chelsea could get someone like that. However, I don't know. I need a full departure list, and then I can start planning. Just my own personal gain for my transfer tracker, of course.
Meanwhile, Everton versus Leicester City happened.
Oh, but you know what though? Everton, Maz Pacheco getting the winner. That's just perfect. That's exactly how it should have ended. 6 minutes of stoppage time. That one was. But I tell you what, for Leicester though, even though it was a loss, that was the most switched on and fierce that I've seen them this season. So I really
they're now going, shush, Freya, don't start adding to my panic.
I think I told them this the other day actually, because I was saying I know Charlton will be ready for a fight, but I really think they're going to really go for it. Good to have you as always. So yeah, I really think they're going to be up for this fight. I don't then know what the season's going to look like if they do then win, what kind of backing they're going to have or anything like that. But yeah, they looked really, really up for it, and did have chances. I mean, if we look at, let's get some stats up. Let's have a look. Stats. Everton 13 shots, 2 on target. Leicester had 8, 3 on target. So yeah, so although it wasn't a high shooting match, they still did manage, because we have seen games, haven't we, where Leicester have had 1 or 2 shots the whole game.
1 or 2 shots and just not turned up.
Yeah. So the fact that 8 shots, 3 on target shows that they really did show up for this one. So yeah, shout out to both of them for that one. We are going to talk about the playoff after this, so stay tuned. Next one down, then, it was Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1. Yeah, I mean, all 3 goals for Arsenal came in that first half, and it was just one-way traffic, wasn't it? In that first half. But can we just shout out to Zara Shaw for getting the goal back for Liverpool?
Zara Shaw doing Zara Shaw things.
Yes. Again, it just felt like this final day, like Sam Kerr getting the goal. We'll talk about City later on, but Laura Coombs getting the 4th goal in her last appearance. So yeah, it just felt like everything was kind of coming together this last weekend.
Matt's got the dad joke. There we go. Because apparently Tamberg was a coach before she started playing properly, but she tinkered with the starting 11 too much.
Slow clap from that.
Just general.
Very good. However, what I do have for Liverpool Arsenal, our Chloe Bear, as I mentioned, she was there in the press box.
Indeed.
And she sent me. This isn't her official match report. Eh?
Have we got Chloe's notes?
We have got Chloe's notes. I would like to specify this isn't the proper match report, or it wouldn't have got posted. Yes, so all of the travelling Arsenal fans, I know I said it the week before when they went to Villa Park, but the support was just incredible. And I saw loads of tweets saying, I hope all the fancy dress shops in Liverpool did a good trade the weekend. All of the Irish garlands and flags that were sold. So yeah, apparently it was 3,000 Arsenal supporters that made the way up. Also, this hasn't been talked about enough. Liverpool, Gemma Bonner and Gemma Evans are both leaving. And on the Sky YouTube account, there was a 17-minute Beth Mead farewell video, a Katie McCabe farewell video, and the one with Sam and Millie saying goodbye after the Chelsea game, and nothing about Gemma Bonner and Gemma Evans. So
that'll be Gemma Bonner, WSL title winner with Liverpool. Gemma Bonner amongst 50-odd caps for England. We'll just not mention them.
And yet nothing. So we're going to mention them. So to both Gemmas, we hope your new club is going to be the right one for you. Because the emotional farewell videos came out today from Liverpool, and they were really lovely. You can tell they're really good members of the squad to have. She says, so again, Star Kloiber. I thought it was our Emma Steiner who got the first goal, but everyone gave it to Alessia. Looking back, it is Alessia's. Caldente got the second. Lovely assist from Kate McCabe as well, as Russo secured a brace. 18-year-old hometown girl Zara Shaw scored for the Reds. 18. So easy to forget Zara Shaw's in the 18. McCabe was subbed off in the 90th minute and was clearly very visibly emotional as she was then surrounded by Steph Catley, Lee Williamson, Caitlin Ford, etc. And then all the Arsenal supporters started shouting, "We've got McCabe." Gareth Taylor and Renee Sleggers afterwards were both really, really good after the game for Chloe's questions. Gareth spoke about challenges faced and what he hopes for the next season. Renee spoke really highly of Katie and Beth and what she's going to miss about them on and off the pitch. And then Arsenal's summer plans as well. And Chloe puts, as an added extra, she had a very lovely day at the match. The season's been really fun but really challenging. and being the only one in the press room sometimes is really difficult. And I've had to step it up because she was the only one there. And she's also achieved some of her dreams, like being press at Wembley. Something she'll never forget, and she'll look forward to what the next season brings as well. So Chloe Bear is unfortunately doing a lot of Wednesday shifts, so she can't join us as much. But yeah, no, it has been a season of firsts for some of our team as well, which has been lovely. But yeah, I mean, Arsenal ending it on a high, and Alessia Russo doing what she does and getting a brace for the Reds. I'll just leave it there.
She's had a good year, Russo. I'll give her that. She's had a good year. It's a pity Ryan isn't in the time to hear that, but she has had a good year.
I was going to say we'll clip it up so he can listen to it back on repeat later. With now, I do just want to shout out the Villa fans that travelled down to Kent. Because they all dressed up, and I think I've been saying this last couple of seasons. They wanted to do similar to what the men do, last away game of the season. All go dressed up, and Tracy went as Michelle Kang, and I shit you not, everyone thought she was Kang. Just to put it into perspective, I'm gonna have to try and show you a picture of what she looked like, because some people kind of, swing and a miss. Tracy, on the other hand, hang on, was it on there? No, it wasn't. It was on the other one. Yeah, if anyone's on the fan club page on Facebook, please go have a look. But hang on, it's coming.
Hold on, it's coming.
She also, so not only did she dress up like Michelle Kang, she also printed off some money, and it said Kang bucks. Nice. So she was going around with like wads of cash, and then she also had printed out a player contract that she was going to the players at the end saying, "Will you sign? Will you play for my team?" So I'm gonna remove that because I need everyone to see this. I'm gonna turn my blur off. So apologies for behind me. So everyone can kind of see. Can we all see?
Oh wow! Oh, that's impressive.
So she's got a cash in her hand like that. And then
that's very good. That's an unsettlingly good effort.
Apparently, loads of people were going up to her thinking that she was. But she paused with Mary Taylor holding the money.
That's a good effort.
Which was fantastic.
That's a very
but yeah, it was just apparently one of the stewards in the stadium as well. Genuinely thought it was like, and you just thought,
what are you doing in the away end? Like,
yeah, shouldn't you be up there in your box on your helicopter? But yeah, just shout out to the fans who dressed up because that was really fun. But what I was going to say was a disappointing start from Villa. London City, I mean, you've got Izzy Goodwin and Freya Godfrey, and you've got all these strikers. And I was watching it back going, oh, we need it, Izzy Goodwin. I would love to see her back at Villa because we just need someone. And I know we keep talking about lack of pure strikers, but someone like Izzy Goodwin who's just going to run through brick walls and will keep on trying until the final minute. So yeah, I mean, she was incredible. But then completely against the run of play, Villa score, and it's like, oh, okay, that's quite nice. Yeah, that was from Lynn Vilms, added time in the first half from a set piece, I believe. And you just think, yeah, that's the Villa we want to see. But yeah, and then unfortunately, Danielle van der Donk showed up. She got the equaliser, and then last minute heartbreak from Godfrey. I think it was like the 92nd or the 93rd minute, and they nicked it. So yeah, not the best ending that Villa could have hoped for.
Half their big signings London City's big signings finished the season on the bench because Elena Linari was on the bench, Nikita Paris was on the bench, Van der Donk was on the bench.
Yeah.
Like,
It just, it's been a strange season for them because then, of course, Malou Marsetto as well, who we talked about, she's done her ACL and her MCL. So that's going to be an incredibly painful one for her. We've also got from London City, Julia Rodder has departed. Maddie Wild has gone again because, of course, she was on loan from Arsenal and then she went there permanently. But yeah, Maddie Wild's gone. Gessa Marashi as well, she's gone. But again, we haven't really seen her much at all. And then Sangare has gone back to Lyon for that. So it feels like there's a lot of movement going on with these players, and some that haven't really had a chance.
Haven't even heard anything. Like Chris, haven't even heard anything about Delphine Cascarino. I just saw them. Oh yeah, she signed in January as well.
Well, yeah, because they signed so many. Also, Cardinal, she came back from injury. That wasn't made a big thing of. And obviously she's been building her minutes back up. And I kind of saw her again on this match. I was like, oh yeah, because Cardinal coming from Ajax, that was a really good signing that I really liked. And yet nothing. So it's been a bit of a shame that all of these big names were brought in and then just nothing really happened. Yeah, absolutely. So then the final one we haven't talked about, West Ham 1, Man City 4. So even though, Jade Rolls, that was a lovely goal. She was the first one on the ball with that one, 13th minute. Bunny Shaw gets a brace. Laura Coombs, like I mentioned earlier, got the fourth in her final outing. But I just want to talk about West Ham for that goal because it was a lovely bit of play from Morgan and then crosses it to Pubel, who gets the goal just after the hour mark. And you just think we talked about untapped personality earlier from West Ham, but their kind of untapped potential when it comes to their play and it comes to their relationships. And you just think there's something there and it just needs nurturing, because when you see bits of play like that, you're like, yeah, that's it. That's what they're seeing. So, what do you think about West Ham's future, Paul? Because can you see those little nuggets as well, or
I can see it, but they need to retain a decent, because they've got players like Verena Hanshaw who kind of hangs around and comes on, and Eunice Iren's decent. Serena Pubel, I know you like her, and Leila Vandela, who comes on as well. These are not bad players at all. They're just kind of not. Tuva Hansen played for West Ham this season. This is the kind of thing where you just forget because they're just not playing that much. And
you look at names and go, oh yeah.
It's not even like where you look at Man City and go, oh yeah, they've got this. They've got this fringe player who's good at the last Euros who they've signed and not used. It's like these are players who just don't really, and I think part of that is because they're not really even talked about. Like Serena Pubel's been very useful this season, and has barely been mentioned. Iko Weki got praised when she first turned up, and then kind of fade away. Nobody talks about Viviana Sei ever. Apparently.
No,
even though she's a France international. Like,
that's the thing, we try as much as we can, but we need other people to do it as well. But yeah, Fionn Morgan you mentioned, Welsh international, of course, and you just think, yeah, they should.
I worry if the men's team go down, there could be issues in the classic precariousness.
Yeah, no, I agree, because it seems like very much on the outside, like Spurs women are doing their own thing and they've got a plan and they've got that way forward despite what happens to the men. How true that will be when the reality comes to it. But West Ham just I am worried if they do and what the impact is going to be. Yeah, Kira Flannery as well. She was at Sunderland and then at Charlton.
The ownership at West Ham just seems to see them as a bit of an annoyance. They're just kind of, as long as we're not bottom. This season was very much, well, as long as we're not bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as we don't have to go into that playoff. And I mean, they were only 2 points from being second bottom. So yeah, it just it does make you worry about the future and what they're gonna do.
I mean, they're a big club, West Ham, as well. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they are a big club, so they should be doing well. They should be looking at, or if they're being audacious, Katie McCabe. So Katie McCabe's probably going to the NWSL, but that kind of the players who are released by the big clubs, as it were, but might still want to stay in London or the WSL. Everyone goes London City is where they're probably going to end up, but there's no reason West Ham can't have a bit of a crack. And go, we're an established WSL. We're an established WSL club.
Yeah,
come play for us for a year.
Exactly. Come to us for a year, see how you do, see if you like it, and if not, that's okay too. But yeah, I mean, I do love that Jackie saying West Ham are focusing on the sevens. But yeah, like I said, it's a fantastic opportunity for them to show their personality and get some new fans as well, because I feel like we don't really hear from West Ham fans a lot from the women's side. But
they are there. They're just kind of overlooked because.
Which is a shame. I'd love to get some West Ham fans on, get them as part of our community so we can share their thoughts. But yeah, so I mean, the World Seven. So you got your Villa, your Chelsea, Everton, Leicester, London City, United, Spurs, and West Ham. So yeah, so still not as exciting as before. But yeah, the schedule is out. I don't know if we went through it last time. But there's still going to be 2 groups, like we mentioned earlier. But yeah, so every team plays
once.
No, some teams play twice on the first day. Some teams play twice, some teams play once, which is annoying, and then it'll flip for the second day. So the teams that played once play twice and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, on the Saturday, it'll be the semi-finals and the final as well. So yeah, top 2 from each group we'll go through. I don't know if West Ham can compete. Well, it's pretty much because you've got to think about it. If London City are attracting lots of top players, there's only a certain amount of spaces for those top players to be happy. So instead of overloading, no matter how much they might try, yeah, you can go to one of those neighbouring clubs and still, like you said, be in and around London, if that's where the players want to be. But yeah, hey, watch this space and the transfer tracker when the window opens. Now then, last couple of little bits. So Saturday, we know where you're all going to be, which is watching the Charlton versus Leicester playoff, which is both on Sky and BBC Two before the Champions League final. In the early evening. So considering Charlton have had a bit of time, of course, WSL 2 finished last week. Leicester, of course, in technically fresher because they have played. So maybe some want a bit of a rhythm. What are your thoughts ahead of Saturday, Paul? Do you still think Charlton have got a good chance of doing it, or do you think it's going to be tighter than we initially expected?
I think Charlton will be incredibly motivated. And they'll be at the Valley. And it'll be a winner-takes-all situation. And Leicester and Leicester are fighting to survive. Charlton are fighting to go up, but Charlton have been so close and let it slip. They're not going to want to let it slip a second time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
It's sold. That's very, very promising.
That's promising as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Charlton men stayed in the Championship as well, so
Just good news. Yeah.
which is good news from the perspective of the women's team.
Mm.
And Leicester are a club in freefall.
Mm.
Oh dear, how sad. Never mind. Sorry, Shannon, but the Coventry came out then. I really hope. Part of me really hopes Leicester go down, because if they do go down, it means that players like Shannon O'Brien will very quickly become targets for WSL clubs.
I hope so. Yeah.
And they should. And Charlton can do a good job. I know we're jumping ahead, but if you look at some of the names on Leicester City women who could easily do a job. I mean, we've talked about Alessia Russo, but she could probably certainly do a job for a club, as a squad. And
that's true. She can.
Jenny could do a job. Janina Leipzig would be a very good lower tier WSL goalie. Noemi Mouchon's very good.
Yeah.
Asmita Lay as well. And Sarah Maiding will be going back to Villa, which will be interesting because she could be.
Or will she? No.
Or will she? And I don't know. I just look at that Leicester squad and I look at Charlton's squad and I think there's no difference between them. There's no things where I look at it and go, "Oh, Leicester are clearly better in that position."
Mm.
That's the problem from a Leicester perspective. If you are
the
team,
they haven't got that superstar to kind of edge them ahead, have they?
They haven't got. I mean, Janina Leipzig perhaps, but Emily Van Egmond failed to get promotion last season, and then left Birmingham City.
Yeah.
Jutta Rantala is superb, but she's coming off an injury.
Mm.
And you look at some of the Charlton players and just think, if it comes down to it, are you going to have players who are perhaps have one eye already on the way out the door if they go down after a tricky year, or are you going to have Charlton who are like, we want up?
That's the thing. I know, obviously, a different league, but Leicester have only scored 11 goals this season. Whole season. So if you're looking at that compared to the 52 they've let in against, exactly, Graham, you're on my train of thought, WSL 2 Golden Glove winner, Sophie Whitehouse. That's a pretty daunting task to come up against, isn't it?
Yeah, if you've only scored one goal every other game and you've got to score in this one.
Yeah.
Like you say, against
preferably multiple. Yeah. It's going to be incredibly challenging indeed. So yeah, I mean, Leicester City, obviously it's not the players' fault what's going on, so you'd hate to see that happening, but you do worry what's going to happen in the future in general. Whereas Charlton, they've got that spirit, haven't they? They've got that fight, and like you said, after coming so close, it'd be lovely to see them being the ones to win that promotion at home as well. So,
of course, Charlton do have the stronger celebrity fans because in Only Fools and Horses, Rodney was a Charlton fan, and of course, one of my first ever crushes, Sophie Aldred, playing Ace in Doctor Who, had a Charlton badge on her jacket.
Oh, did she actually?
She did.
Oh, that's brilliant! I didn't know that.
I wonder if Graham knew that one. I wonder if Graham knew Sophie Old, a Doctor Who companion, was a Charlton fan. There's one for you.
Graham, did you know your Charlton trivia? But of course we want it for our lovely Graham as well, don't we?
I also think it'd be nice if Charlton went up, because I think Charlton will give it more of a go than Leicester.
Yes, they've just got more about them, haven't they? Because I think we've talked about Leicester being pretty broken, really.
If Leicester stay up, they'll be back down the next season. Charlton, you think they'll have a crack at it?
Yeah, and that's the worry, isn't it? What could this mean for Leicester in the future, in the grand scheme of things? But of course, Fox's fan, Charlton bottled the league title and promotion. Let's not forget, 1 win in the last 6 after being 9 points clear. That's true. Playing devil's advocate. That's true indeed.
With absolutely no personal bias in there whatsoever.
No, not at all. But that's the thing. It's 2 teams coming up against it who know what's at stake. They know it's literally now or never. So both teams are going to give you a really, really good battle. So I'm all here for it. It's going to be a fantastic.
I think if Leicester win, Shan O'Brien's scoring. If Leicester stay up, it will be due to Coventry's own Shannon O'Brien.
Yeah, it's got to be the amount, because it wasn't this last game. I mean, she was good in this one, but it was the one before where I just thought, yeah, Shannon O'Brien's going to make the difference here, and she did. She got that goal back, didn't she? And you just think, yeah, that's the player you need on your team. So if the team was made up of 11 Shannon O'Briens, you'd be absolutely fine. But yes, Graham saying 9 points clear is a bit misleading. Birmingham always had at least 2 games in hand. Yes. And Palace went on a very good run.
Palace won 14 of their last 16 games or something, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And
no.
We're aware, don't we? We are fully aware of how good Shannon O'Brien is. I will not let anybody
talk about it all the time. Yeah, no. Oh, we know if anyone is watching, then yes. Do you discuss the fan day of the season? Mate, we've been on since 8:30. Yeah.
We sort of briefly mentioned Sam Kerr scoring against Man United again.
Yeah, we went around the houses a little bit, but we got there.
In the 57th nail in Mark Skinner's coffin, and him still not cracking. Stop! He's already dead. No, the trouble is he isn't. We want to make sure this time. Metaphorically, for the avoidance of doubt, metaphorically, his management reign at Manchester United is dead. It's not him personally.
No, and we'll just say it 10 million times so everyone is clear.
I was too busy gathering spice in June Awakening. Fair play to you. I have been late for stuff because of Skyrim before, so I can fully agree with that one.
Well, the good thing is being on YouTube, you can go back and you can watch. Yeah. When did we start talking about football? It was a good 40 minutes in, I think. we just have so much.
It's only about 20 minutes ago that we started talking about it, wasn't it? In the end, because we were talking mostly about people retiring and media and.
Yes, still good stuff, football related stuff, of course. But all needs to be said.
Next week we're doing the season review. We probably won't get to Manchester United until about 11 o'clock. So you'll be like.
I was going to say when we do our proper season reviews, we'll have to be like, right, 5 minutes. Come on, start time, and do it properly, shall we?
5 minutes on each topic.
Yeah. Starting now. Everyone bring your notes, and then that's it. Yes, I didn't know the Europa League final was today. It was today and over. Villa have won. Yeah.
To be fair, nor did I until about halfway through the day. It was like, why are Villa playing today? They're European final week. Okay.
It's the big game, yeah. There you go. But yes, well done, Villa men. Well done indeed. The women will be there one day. Not in the men's Europa League, that'd be a bit weird. But in the women's Europa Cup, when it finally gets broadcast and finally gets the attention it deserves.
And finally it has British teams come into it.
Well, yes, indeed. We need to get through the qualifiers, don't we? But yes, Graham is going to give us all a wave if he's on the telly. He says if he sits behind the dugout, he will be on the telly. Now then, so yes, there's also Champions League final, Barcelona versus Lyon in Oslo. That's on Saturday evening. There's 5 o'clock, that one, kickoff.
That I might be playing Skyrim for. I might take a leaf out of Reaper's book for that one.
But
you know, it's all right. If you miss this Barcelona Leon game, another one will be along next season. So you know, you'll be all right. Another Barcelona Leon knockout will be along next season.
That's true. They come around so often, yeah. But I just hope it's a really good final, and it's a really, really, really good game to turn up for.
We'll have one of the best ever goals I've seen in the Champions League final. Amandine Henry's cracker a few years ago for Lyon.
Oh, yeah.
The one that Barcelona fans were outraged about because Alexis Putellas was tackled and fell over, and apparently we're not allowed to do that. And then it kind of broke, and Henry just absolutely leathered it from 30 yards into the top corner without even stopping her, without even breaking stride.
No, you do, and that's the difference in these tournaments, isn't it? I do agree with this though. Qualifying for the tournament is a joke. Should go to the 4th spot for each league in Europe, so relying on elimination. It's a excuse me. It's a strange one, isn't it? Because I think maybe as the WSL's expanded, maybe 4th place qualifies automatically, and then maybe 5th place goes into the qualifiers, maybe with everyone else who's been kicked out of Champions League early qualifications.
And imagine there's coefficients and stuff that people have to go at, but yeah,
if they can work something out, yeah. Because imagine, you know, if we're looking at like the table now, so 4th place would be United, 5th place Spurs. Like they're 2 teams that could very much have a good experience in Europe, I think. So,
and crucially, they'd be easy to market.
Yeah,
as well. You know, cynically, because with all due respect to the Europa League, if the final is Hocken versus Hammarby, most of the rest of Europe is going to go, all right. If the final is Manchester United versus Freiburg, Manchester United versus Eintracht Frankfurt, let's say.
Yeah, that automatically gets people going.
Go, oh, hello, that's worth watching.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Everton versus Lara Freigang, yeah, we'll have that.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
And that's the thing. So hopefully these are all in the works with UEFA. So yeah, it does need to be opened up because we need more teams with that European experience. So again, going back to what we said earlier, it stops being you need to be in the top 4 teams to compete for places. When actually, if you're in Europe and you can prove you can compete, then maybe that's the way forward too. Right then, last couple of bits then, and then we'll let people go to bed. So I just want to do a little Serie A roundup as well, because it was the last game of the season. So Roma were crowned champions. They've been champions for about 2 weeks now, on 55 points. But this is, I know people say Liga FA isn't competitive. These are the top 3 teams in Italy, right? So Roma are on 55. Inter are on 44, Juventus are on 39. So the gap between the top 3 is mad. Genoa relegated in their first season, the top flight. I feel really sorry for them. Only 1 team goes down. Not confusingly at all, Como 1907 have been promoted from Serie B, which means we have a Como women and a Como 1907.
What? Or the Como Derby, the Lake Como Derby is going to kick off.
The lakeside,
people thrown into Lake Como and all sorts.
Just a big tug of war across the lake. That'll do it.
Yeah, just dance then wherever you be. We will sing forevermore because of Boxing Day. Just Como 1907 ran away. Like, just...
oh, the chance that we can have. But yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, oh, that's going to be so confusing. But we do it with the 2 Manchester teams, don't we? So it'll be fun. It'll just take a bit of getting used to. But there's also Roma only with a plus 25 goal difference. Haven't actually. I did have the table up. Bear with me.
But since you actually, as a Serie A watcher, Evelyn Vian is leaving Roma.
Yes, she is. Excuse me.
That would be a WSL signing.
I would love her to come to WSL.
West Ham.
That'd be incredible. West Ham, no, Villa. Just putting a shout in there.
Villa's history with French Canadians hasn't gone brilliantly.
I don't know what you're talking about. We've had some lovely times with our Canadians. It just hasn't necessarily ended well. Started well. Just to put it in perspective, as Jackie says, so Roma with a plus 25 goal difference, Barcelona has 116.
That says something about but the difference there is a league.
It does, yeah.
Because Roma, effectively.
So Roma, yes, plus 25, but Inter plus 23. So in terms of goal difference, quite close. But then it gets quite compact. So Juventus are on 39, Fiorentina 36, Lazio 33, Milan 32, Napoli 32, Como 30. So there were between third and eighth, they were all on 30 plus points. So yeah, it's very, very congested in that mid area of the table. So like I said, Genoa relegated on 10 points, but congratulations to Parma and Tanana as well, who stayed up in their first season. So congratulations to them.
Sorry, I can just hear Rihanna. Tanana.
What's your team? Yeah.
Team Tanana. Oh God.
However, speaking of Barcelona, though, Liga FA, 2 weeks left, 2 more matches, because of course they have more teams, so their season starts earlier and finishes later. Barcelona have been champions for most of the season. They're currently on 80 points. Real Madrid are on 66 and Sociedad are on 63. They've all secured Champions League. There isn't a chance of anyone catching them. I think I spoke last week about historical Levante. They're being relegated with only 8 points due to everything that's going on behind the scenes in the club at the minute. And officially now, Alama will be joining them. They've only got 13 points, but it's an 8-point gap between them and Logroño. So there's no opportunity for them to catch up. So those two will be.
Why are there two Levante teams? I should know this, but there's Levante and Levante Badalona.
So Badalona is not Levante Badalona anymore. It's FC Badalona. They've rebranded. Yeah. So they were Levante Las Planas and then Levante Badalona and then FC Badalona. Because now
there's Madrid CFF that used to be Real Madrid. Or no, they didn't used to be Real Madrid, but they used to be the main team in Madrid until Real Madrid nicked a team.
Yes. So Madrid CFF are like an independent, I believe. So actually they're doing incredibly well for what they are. But FC Badalona and Como Women have got the same under the same brand. So it's that Mercury 13, is it?
One of those.
Yeah. But their branding is beautiful. If you haven't seen the Como branding or the FC Badalona branding, you can tell it's the same kind of because it's just so cool. And the last thing I will screen share with you all, if I can, is showing you Como's Instagram page because it makes me so happy.
Is this at least partly because Como is a beautiful part of the world?
Well, yes. FC. What do you mean no results found? No. They were right there, aren't they? There.
My dad Stan went to Como once. Everybody thought they were asking how he was in Spanish because he was just going around saying, "Oh look, Como es Stan."
I appreciate that joke. Thank you.
I'm glad you do. Everyone else be like,
yeah.
My other one is Danny Welbeck and his granddad, who was a bomb disposal expert, Stan. There we go. That one took a second. Hold on, that's a flipping models, but Cobo's, that's a models Instagram. That's a fashion.
So everything is like really well done in like black and white, but then like the full-time results are very much, they've got like these really like just like cool like iced filters on, and then like this is the starting 11 post formazione, and then like like that, and it's like a photography page.
It's very
but everything
Italian.
Just like,
it's very stereotypical Italian, and I mean that as a you know how countries have certain aesthetics, and Italians, you have this idea of Italy is very, very polished.
Mm.
You know, it's the country of Ferrari and Armani and Lamborghini and Prada and all the big
other Italian words, but
all the big fancy brands, you know.
Yeah, but no, you're right.
And all that sort of stuff.
So, but yeah, just so like modern and stylish and like lovely.
Is why they have the starting lineup in Italian, but they don't have the result in Italian.
It's a very strange league because do you remember I told you they rebranded to Serie A Women? So not Serie A Femminile, Serie A Women, and then a lot of their posts are very much in, I don't know what the equivalent of Spanglish is, but it's very English heavy.
Italianish, like
Italianglish. But yeah, it is. So lots of things are because obviously you borrow things, don't you? So if the football culture, if it translates better just to keep the English, then that very much comes over. But yeah, there's a lot of English.
They've done like the reverse of Channel 4 did in the 90s, where they just did the whole every football fan who grew up in the 90s knows a little bit of Italian just because of the intro to Gazzetta Football Italia.
We'll take all the cool Italian words because that's what football is. But yeah, no, it's very English kind of across the board. But what I do like about just switching back to Liga FA a bit, the Basque clubs are very good at making sure that Basque is the first language they post in, and then Spanish. Yeah.
I was going to ask because they've got Athletic Club Bilbao, and I've just went and had a look, and they appear to have a whole bunch of Basque names. I was wondering if they do the same as Bilbao, where they technically, because Bilbao have now reached the point where they sign non-Basque players, but the first time they did that, it was like 2019 or something, and they've still only signed,
wasn't it? Yeah. So it's like,
only signed like 4 or 5.
I don't know if the women's team are as strict. I don't think. But happy to go and research that because I don't actually know.
Barcelona not brave enough to do that. Will only sign Catalans
from this very small region. But even with that, with Barcelona, it's Catalan then Spanish, and so Athletic Club always confuses me because I think my Spanish is good, and I remember Basque is nothing like Spanish, and I'm looking at it going, I should know these words because I see them enough, but they don't.
Comunicat medical.
Yeah,
this is the bit that everybody knows because Barca.
Comunicat
medic.
But it's just the detail it goes into. Of they have a tear of the right quadrant of the lower muscular ankle,
of the lower semi quadratus muscle, and it's like, so where's that? Just say knee injury, for God's sake. Just say calf injury, like. An avulsion of the third supranumeral ligament. It's like just say they've pulled a hamstring, for God's sake. Like,
yeah, we don't need the proper bit, but
although German stuff does that sometimes as well. German,
I can imagine.
I do enjoy some of the German, the Frauen Bundesliga stuff. Speaking of the Frauen Bundesliga, Alex Pop casually necking a beer at the end of her last game for Wolfsburg.
Getting subbed in straight on. It's fantastic.
Getting stuck in, like.
That's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird not seeing her though, isn't it? Alex Pop in a Wolfsburg kit.
I know a bunch of German drinking songs, but they're not from the region of Wolfsburg. If you played for Cologne, I'd have all the I'd have all the drinking songs.
Alas.
Or Dusseldorf, longest bar in the world. This is the thing. If I could take everybody everywhere, I'd take them to Dusseldorf because it has. They say we have the längsta Theke der Welt, which is we've got the longest pub counter in the world. It's literally the street where all the bars is just a mile long. And they go, it's just the longest bar in the world.
and that perfectly sums it up. Yeah.
There you go.
That works.
We never mentioned the end of WSL. We won't mention the end of WSL because, like you say, it's weird with Danny not here, isn't it?
It is. So what we'll do, we'll put the end of WSL on hold for when Danny is back with us next week. Fingers crossed still okay. But yes, so we will do our kind of end of season awards like we usually do next week. On social media, we put a post out on the Absolute Football. Oh God, brain. brain.
That took a second. I was like, is that a hint? And then just
brain stopped working. On the Absolute Football socials, mainly Twitter, we'll put it on there, and we'll put a call out for tell us your player of the season, underrated. Well, it can be underrated because we know we love players from all leagues, in all divisions. We'll do goal, best moment, like we'll do all the proper awards, in from. Well, we can do WSL, we can do WSL too. We can do a mix. Yeah. And we'll just make it a proper celebration of the season. But we will leave it there for tonight. There could be much more that we could have talked about. However, if we do, we'll be here past midnight and we don't want to keep this anymore. So we do appreciate everyone who has gotten in the chat. We do appreciate your thoughts and opinions. So watch out for that on socials to vote for your special moments of the season. So playoff on Saturday for our lovely Graham. We hope Charlton pull through, and we hope they do it. And then Champions League final as well. So we'll be talking about all that next week, plus the end of season awards. So we'll leave that there. Thank you very much, Paul, as always. Thank you to everyone in the chat, and we'll see you at 8:30-ish, technology dependent, next Wednesday. Have a good week, everyone. Good night.